I may or may not have just changed into a sluttier shirt to film this video.
Yeah, I'm such a bad bitch. I'm a little savage. Hey,
listen, I'm doing a lot for you guys. I want to, I want the clicks. It's really why I'm doing it. Anyway, hi, what's up? Welcome to my channel. If you guys have never been here before, my name is Indika. I make a lot of videos for you guys on trans-related topics, trans-related issues, all that jazz. So if you're into that, if that's something that interests you, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button, hit that like button. And all of the above would be like super dope, super fun, super fresh. Thanks. Today I'm going to be talking about, well, first of all, I'm going to be pissing a lot of you bitches off. So if you get pissed off, stay mad. I don't know, like comment some intellectual shit or whatever, but like don't come for me because that's just not how we solve things around these houses. Okay, I get it. So I'm just gonna hop right into it because I have a lot going through my head right now and I don't want to forget a lot of the important shit. So let's just start. I'm going to be starting on a pretty big one, which is trans people in sports. I know. As we all know, recently there was a bubbling point in this topic when a swimmer by the name of Lia Thomas started competing as a trans woman and essentially annihilating all her biological female counterparts. And everyone got really pissed because it was blatantly unfair and stupid. That's really how I feel about it. Like, so Lia was a biological male, as all trans women start. However, Lia did not transition until like her later years, I believe late 20s, something like that. She transitioned. Point is, she transitioned well after puberty. She was a biological male, fully adult male. And was on hormones for about a year before she started competing against biological women. And obviously, because she had 30 fucking years of testosterone, already going through and completing puberty, she was annihilating her female counterparts like there was no tomorrow. To put it into perspective, Lia was coming, I believe, in like 300th place when she was a biological male competing against other biological males. And as soon as she transitioned, she skyrocketed to #1 because she started going against biological women. I think anyone who has a brain can realize that's not fucking fair, and it kind of takes the integrity away from sports. And even worse, in my opinion, it really gave the trans community such a bad rap. Like, people were really shitting on us a lot more than they normally do. Like, she really ruffled some feathers. So Lia, in my opinion, transitioned post-puberty after completing puberty, therefore should have never been allowed to compete against biological women for this exact reason, because it's just not fair. Her bone density is thicker, she's longer, she's stronger, she is just more equipped to do better physically in any type of physical sport than a biological woman would be. And that's just the cold, hard truth. And if that's too much for you guys to handle, or not for you, I think you guys will understand where I'm coming from, but if that's too much for the general public to understand, that's a problem. That's a real problem. In my opinion, I believe trans women should be able to play in sports, but under very strict circumstances. This is kind of the middle ground that I propose that I think would likely make a lot more people, hopefully, a little less skeptical of letting trans people play in any type of sport. I believe if you want to go against the sex that you align with, so if a trans woman wants to verse women, I believe if you start taking hormone replacement therapy before the onset of puberty, or at least before puberty, like, you know what I mean, like if you're like before the thick of puberty and you've, started a tiny bit but you immediately stop it, I think that's acceptable, and not everything can be perfect. However, if you are more than halfway through or have completed puberty, it's already just you're out of biological advantage at that point. Prior to that, men and women are essentially the same. The hormones are really what takes us in different directions between men and women, and that's when the women start growing breasts and men start getting taller and growing body hair. It's like, that's what really differentiates men and women in puberty. So if you are able to transition, go on hormones prior to that point, you would definitely, in my opinion, be able to compete against biological women fairly because you haven't had years of testosterone that would give you an unfair advantage. Instead, you have been on hormones, female hormones, just as long as these women have. So it's really a fair playing field in my opinion. And I think there needs to be testing and regulations to make sure that the levels are all consistent with biological women and, you know, documented transition. When they transitioned, what their hormone levels were like prior to starting hormones. They're like natural hormones. Because before you start taking any type of HRT, they will get a baseline, and that's your medical record. So you would be able to supply them with that information and be like, look, this is before I started taking hormones. My body was naturally not producing any testosterone or very minimal testosterone that would not give me an unfair advantage. And then I started taking HRT, testosterone blockers, and estrogen on this date, and I've been on it consistently. And if you can prove that, I personally really believe it is totally 100% fair and it's the same ball game. And now that's not the case for a lot of trans women. That's really more so the lucky trans women who figure out that they're trans really young and have supportive friends and family who are able to assist them in that process and get them on their hormones, which is a select group of people, especially of the trans community, which is already a very small community. And I understand that. However, life isn't always fair. For me personally, I started HRT when I was 15 years old. So I'm sort of on the cusp of the borderline, but I would never put myself in a female sport because I personally feel like I hit puberty earlier than most of my peers, which, you know, was really fucking unfortunate for me. But I was taller than a lot of my male friends, and my voice dropped earlier compared to my other male friends. Unfortunately for me, in my opinion, I think I missed the benchmark, the line that I needed to hit in order to compete as a biological woman. So I would never compete against women because I don't think it's fair. Even though, you know, I've been on hormones for 5 years, I still had a good year of testosterone that gave me an unfair advantage and always will. And that is just how the cookie crumbled. But at the end of the day, we need to protect women and women's sports and the integrity of it. And right now it's really shot because of Miss Thomas over here. It's really about like self-reflection. Like, you need to be able to look at yourself and be like, is this the moral, ethical thing to do? For me, I look at myself and I could do that and I could say, no, I wouldn't be. However, if I'm like, if I want to join a women's cheerleading or some shit like that, I would totally do that because, you know, that's different. Like, I would just throw bitches in the air. You know what I mean? Like, that's different. Not really competing based off strength. You're competing based off skill and ability. And, you know, men compete on female cheerleaders team anyway, so it's fine. You know what I would do? To be honest, if I really, really was passionate about swimming or tennis or whatever sport that a trans person may particularly want to do, I would compete against men. I'd be like, you know what? I think I'm that good where I'll fucking compete against men and I'll still win. And if you don't fucking win, girl, goodbye. It's not for you. Like, you know what I mean? And I feel like people would like give you so much props for that. They'd be like, look at this bitch. She's not trying to cheat. She's not trying to get around the system. She's trying to, she's now putting herself slightly at a disadvantage because all these men have full testosterone and all this. And at this point, trans women don't. They're on estrogen. I just think it'd be really boss bitch vibes for a trans woman to do that. Really boss bitch vibes and really ethical. And just, you know, showing that you have a genuine love for the sport and you're not here trying to get over on women. First of all, my arms look so muscly today. Y'all see that? This is why I can't compete against women. But it's true, like, I don't work out. I haven't worked out in years. No, I've never worked out. Like, hello? Given my sisters also have guns, like, we're just like a very athletic build family, but what the fuck ever. You get the point. I'm gonna end this video here because I've been recording for like too long. But thank you so much for watching, you guys. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me. And I will talk to you guys in the next video.
Hey, as soon as I walk in, I get what I want and admit that I have it. Hey, you see I'm packing, they check on my back end. Hey, stay in my garden, I told them it's real, but he said that I'm packing.